it got to a point where I was like, no, I can't continue with this. There was too much abuse. There was no physical abuse, but there was a lot of abuse, emotional abuse, and there was a lot of neglect. So I was carrying the family by myself. If you're told like, don't worry, if he has his life, even you can have your life as long as you don't, Musipitane, but don't bring the embarrassment to the family. Shame. Divorce is shame. Divorce is shame. Why do you want to embarrass people? Why do you want? I mean, we are a good family. We have a name to keep. Don't embarrass us. But then I sat down and said, I'm also somebody's child. I also deserve happiness. My child also deserves happiness. So when it got to a place of where I felt like our lives were a bit endangered with my son, I was like, no. Our society is very, can I say patriarchal? Yes. That's the word to use. Because I kept being told by my colleagues, and people would tell you have a male child. Utaolewa na nani sasa as a, unless ukubali usongewe na mtu kwa nyumba yake, ukue number 2. Like I always say, I think marriage should be taught in high school and campus.
Can I say that again?
Yeah, we need to be taught. What do you need to look out for? Why are you getting married? Don't just do things because that's the society's expectation or that's the place you're in. Because I believe, like, if we had such, like, eye-opening, like looking for red flags, knowing that, no, Esther, this option, si lazima, you have another option. When you see this, run. I think it was the intentional, a word like intentionalness or something.
Yes. The intentionality.
The intentionality, yes, that's the word. In him to get into sio ya kujaribu, like he knew this is the person I was looking for, and once I get them, this is where we're not trying. Like, you see, there's already a gap of 20 years. He has his past, I have my past. But this person knows, if I get this person, it will work.
A very good morning to you and a warm welcome to LNS Rebuilding Series. My name is Lynn Ngugi. Now, I asked my guest even before we started, what's the end goal? What's actually your end goal with today's conversation? And she told me she wants people to know that no matter how many times you fail, you can always rise up. It doesn't matter if you fall 4 times, 7 times, you fall in your marriage, your career, your family. Always remember, you can always bounce back. Her story is the true definition of rebuilding. I saw her email and I said, oh my God, I would want to sit down with this woman. She's giving purpose to her pain. She's encouraging people. She has rebuilt her life. She's enjoying her marriage. So what exactly could go wrong if we trust that no matter how many times we fall, we can always bounce back? I'm about to let her introduce herself. But before I do that, of course, a girl has to pay some few bills here. I want to say thank you so much to our partners at Kings Developers Limited for always coming through. And I've said, with Kings Developers Limited, there is no pressure. So if you are looking into owning a home, a beautiful apartment with a trusted real estate company, why don't you try them out? And they cater to your needs, actually for everyone. So if you're looking for something affordable, medium range, upper uko, kama uko na 30 million, they can cater to you. Kama uko na 4 million, they can cater to you, and they have a very beautiful flexible payment plan. So visit them at their building, Prism Towers, the magnificent Prism Towers that they also own, and tell them Lynn sent you so that they can take you through their products. And also to say thank you so much to you guys. Oneni venye tunafunga mwaka na style. I mean, if you are watching this in your home, please just check if you've subscribed. Just do it. I know sometimes we forget to subscribe subscribed, lakini subscribini, wacheni tufunge mwaka na style, get us to 800k subscribers. And of course to say thank you to my team, Edgar today, and of course Mary and Sam for compiling this episode and making sure it reaches you guys right on time. And now, without further ado, please allow me to let my guest today introduce herself. Good morning, Sunshine.
Morning.
How are you?
Wow.
You're good?
Yeah, I'm good.
How are you feeling?
I'm feeling okay.
Yes.
I'm so glad to be here.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for the invite.
I should be the one saying thank you for even trusting me
Yeah.
with your story. That
Yeah.
is something I don't take for granted,
Yeah.
because I know it's not easy for people to sit
Yes.
and pour their
And to
heart
open
to
up.
someone.
Yes.
So when I get people like you
Yeah.
willing to trust me with their story, I feel really good. But before I go any further with my philosophy, please introduce yourself.
Okay. My name is Wangoi Watene Kirugara.
Yeah.
And I'm happy to be here.
Yes.
I'm happy to share my story in the Rebuilding series.
Yes.
So you can start it. Let's see where to begin.
Where to begin?
There's a lot.
And where to nini.
Yeah.
First, I love your outfit.
Thank you so much.
It's really so beautiful. You're giving, you see,
life.
even you know you slain. Even Ama, your
It
person,
was chosen.
Ama, your
Yeah.
person chose
He
it
chose
for you.
it.
So did you choose the pink also?
No, I didn't. He's the one who dresses us in the family. He's the one with the style.
He's the fashionista.
He's the fashionista.
You're doing good job, sir. Like I could say we have an opening, but I decided to go black, all black. So unless you find me different shades of black, then that can work.
Yeah.
But does it feel nice knowing that the person you love is right here cheering you on?
Yeah, it's very good to have a supporting person next to you to encourage you through the journey. It means a lot. It means a lot because sometimes when you're going through a low curve, people get out of your circle. You're left alone. So if you don't have that person who can hold you up, who still believes in you, who still tells you in the morning it's not yet done, you know, it can be difficult. So I'm very grateful for him. He's been there for all those, you know,
Yes.
the ups and downs. He's never turned his back. And as you'll hear from the story, he's been a very prominent figure in the story.
Okay.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
he plays a big role.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you're loving the marriage.
Yes, I'm enjoying. I'm a believer in love. I'm a believer in family. And that's why I never gave up. Yeah. So until we got where we are.
Yes.
And I'm enjoying it. I'm grateful. I'm grateful for the opportunity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know you gave love a second
A
chance.
second chance,
You're
yes.
now raising a beautiful blended family.
Yes.
But we'll get there. The theme
Yeah.
is dubbed rebuilding.
Yes.
So for you,
Yeah.
what are you rebuilding right now?
Wow. Right now, I think at every stage in life, you're rebuilding something different.
Yes.
Because life is a journey, different levels at any one time. Right now, I'm rebuilding myself as a person, as a mother, as a wife, and also as a business person. Because for the longest part of my life, I was employed. So I hadn't, you know the way you can do a few businesses here and there, but at the end of the day, when you're employed, you still have that at the back of your mind.
Yes.
Kuna mshahara at the end of the month. But now when there's no longer that mshahara, you realize this is me now. You have to accept the situation and now learn how to get out of that.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we are rebuilding.
We are rebuilding.
In all aspects.
In all aspects.
Yes. You
Yes.
said you really wanted to inspire our people.
Yes.
And I love what you said. No matter how many times you
Yeah.
fall,
Yeah.
you can always bounce back.
Exactly.
So this is the part I decide to sit back and let you walk us through your story.
Okay.
Maybe in a place, from a place that you are comfortable in, so we can get to now, how are we here loving love,
Yeah.
loving ourselves,
Yes.
loving the opportunities we have,
Yeah.
being self-employed,
Yeah.
so we know how exactly did we
got
get here.
here.
Yes.
Okay. So in a nutshell, maybe I can say how I grew up.
Yeah.
I grew up in an average family. We were not, I can't say we were low, we were not high, we were average. My parents could afford our schooling. They were both employed. And so we grew up in like all over the country because my father used to work for a company which used to transfer him around the country. So we were brought up in Meru, we were brought up in Migori, we were brought up in Gilgil, we were brought up like yeah, I can say I'm a Kenyan by all means.
By all means.
By all means, yeah. Yeah. So when I got to around class 7, that's when I think my mother was tired of moving around the country, and she's like, you know what, we are settling in one place, and that one place is like where my dad had happened to buy land and built. It wasn't our original home, but my dad had built, so my mother was like, this is home now. So we moved. We couldn't speak the language of the place, that is in Meru, but we learned. Because you can imagine coming from, like my brothers, I remember that time was speaking Kuria, because we had come from Suba Kuria.
Why?
Yeah. They didn't speak Kikuyu. My parents are Kikuyu. We've moved to Meru.
Now you gotta learn.
Yes.
Americana.
So we learned. And at this point, I really thank my mother, because she was like, you have to learn both languages. So at home, she made sure we spoke our mother tongue. And when we went outside, we spoke Meru. So we are fluent in both.
In both?
Yeah.
Okay.
We fit in any situation. Unfortunately, we forgot the little Kuri and Kisi we had learned because we were a bit young, but yeah. So that's how I grew up. The rest of the school, I went to different schools, but mostly now in Meru. Then I finished high school, and then I went to campus. That's where the story begins.
Okay.
So in campus, I met the father of my firstborn.
Yes.
So we started going out, I think, when I was in year 2. And we got married after campus. But before we got married, I had already my son. Then we got married a few, I think 2 years later. Yeah. And that was where the story now begins. So I was 23.
Hey.
I was 23, and once I got pregnant, I was like, you know, I was brought up in a Catholic background. So you're like, and you know, those days, the such conversations with our parents were not very open. So you're like, if you you don't know if you've messed up, but once you get pregnant, this is the way to go.
Yes.
We didn't know any other way. So you think this is a person and that's it. So hakuna njia ingine. Even your mind can't think there's any other option.
Yeah.
But Lynn, I remember my mom asked me, are you sure? Are you sure? But what else did I know? You know, if your parent asks you, are you sure? You, of course, you don't want to show them that
you are not sure.
You're not sure. And my dad asked me, are you going to cope? Because this person was from a different culture, from a different part of the nation. So I was like, they are learned. Tumesoma now campus, nimenawajua. So you think the school has leveraged everything.
Yes. And I know.
Yeah, and I know. So my dad, my parents supported me. They're like, okay, if you think this is what you want, we shall support. So we went ahead and did a wedding. But all this time, like I always say, I think marriage should be taught in high school and campus.
Can I say that again?
Yeah, we need to be taught. What do you need to look out for? Why are you getting married? Don't just do things because that's the society's expectation, or that's the place you're in. Because I believe, like, if we had such, like, eye-opening, you know, like looking for red flags, knowing that, no, Esther, this option, si lazima, you know, you have another option. When you see this, run. I didn't know. I thought, okay, well, we have a baby. We love each other. It will work.
Always and forever.
Yes. And now, so you already have a baby. Unaenda wapi? Where are you going? So you follow that path. And then you walk down this path, and then you realize, is this what I signed up for? It's not working. It's not good for you. It's not good for the baby. It's not good for anybody. It's getting toxic to a point where I got hospitalized. Like, I would go to Karen and they would, they do checks on you, blood pressure, nini. But because of where I used to work, they used to think, hiyo ni pressure ya kazi. So I'd get sick of, and then I would get medication. And this medication I was supposed to take only at night. so that my head would be heavy, and I don't know what it was supposed to do. It's one of those psychological stuff, drugs, I guess. I realized I was losing myself because sometimes I would walk on the street and this thing is overwhelming me because of whatever is going on at home. I'm alone. I'm 26 now, 26, 27. I'm feeling dizzy on the street. I have to stand and hold the wall. I'm now getting to the party life because now I don't know anything else. You're in your mid-20s, you have a job, you have a car.
And you missed.
Exactly, you missed.
The age where...
Kuna mahali uliruka.
Any.
You get
Oh,
school, marriage.
Marriage.
So it got to a point where I was like, no, I can't continue with this. There was too much abuse. There was no physical abuse, but there was a lot of abuse, emotional abuse, and there was a lot of neglect. So I was carrying the family by myself, you know, the child, the house, and everything. And then the unfortunate bit is that the parents from the other side, when now you approach them and you tell them this is the issue, they give you a solution which is, I don't know how to put it. Because how if somebody is probably staying out of the house maybe the whole night because of this and this reason, and then the parents tell you, maybe if you bring that reason to the house, maybe they will stay in the house. Hey. Or if you're told like, don't worry, if he has his life, even you can have your life as long as you don't, you know, musipitane, but don't bring the embarrassment to the family. Like, don't, you know, divorce is shame. Divorce is shame. Why do you want to embarrass people? Why do you want, I mean, we are a good family, we have a name to keep. Don't embarrass us. But then I sat down and said, I'm also somebody's child. You know, I also deserve happiness. My child also deserves happiness. So when it got to a place of where I felt like our lives were a bit endangered with my son, I was like, no, I'm walking out. And this was in a very difficult situation because I remember it was a hospital case because this person has been hospitalized. They are being told go to AA. And here I am being told, umpeleke AA, support. This has been like a 6-year journey, 7-year journey, with the same habit, but it's gotten to a point now, tumeanza kwenda hospitali. The person is hospitalized, they can't be controlled. I have to call people to come and, you know, control the person. It was no longer tenable. But by that time, that was you see the last stroke.
Yes, the last stroke. You broke the camel's back.
Yeah. I just picked the phone and I broke down and called my mother.
Let's talk about that part.
Yeah.
Hey, I think before we started, we said something. Normalize telling your kids they can always come back home.
Yeah.
In any situation,
yes.
You found me having a conversation with a gentleman saying how dangerous it is to send our kids outside
the country,
when they are young. And imagine if even if you're spending 10 million to go educate your child, you can always tell them come back home.
Yes.
So you called your mom?
I called my mom. She was shocked because I had not shared with anybody the journey. I had not. You know, you see this. It's a facade. Like, you know, you're living a lie. You go home, you pretend you're happy and everything, but inside you're dying.
Societal expectations.
Yeah, expectations.
And you did a wedding?
Yes, it was a big wedding. Your colleagues, everybody's there, and you're like, okay, what will they say? But at this point, Lena was tired. I was like, no, I'm going to die.
Yes.
And if I die, who am I going to leave my son with? Because this person has already shown signs that they cannot parent this child. So what am I doing to my child? That's when I think I sobered up. I called my mother and she told me, what do you mean? Why haven't you told us? This is 6-7 years down the line. Why? Like since the relationship started, But now from the marriage it was like 3 years. I told my mother, I thought it would change. I was doing my best, I was protecting my family. She's like, okay. Me told her, you utajua vile utambia daddy. But I'm done. Whatever you'll hear, whatever will come, I'm ready. And I knew a lot of stuff was gonna come. Yeah, so she found a way to tell my dad. And I think they think you're fine, but you're not fine. So that's when now you start looking for friends. Because I didn't know about counseling. I didn't know I could go for counseling. I didn't know. I just knew I wanted out. And I didn't know lawyers. At this point, I'm like 27, 28. My friends are getting married. They're having baby showers. They're having bridal showers. And they're wondering, why are you walking out of your marriage? Like, they can't relate. So there's nobody really to share this pain with. There's nobody to tell. Everybody's telling you. So my Bible, the Bible says,
Proverbs 31.
Yeah, the Bible says, have you tried your best? Have you? I'm like, this is my shoe.
But they love how people read Proverbs 31 selectively.
Yeah.
They don't read the
They don't read the whole.
And
yes.
the after.
Yeah. So I'm like, so now, how am I supposed to be the one who is? I can't carry it anymore. I'm going to break down. I'm going to die at this rate. And I don't see the value of death.
Yes.
Yeah. So I got a lot of backlash. I lost friends. People we used to hang out with even from campus, because we were from the same campus, all of us. We had a group of friends. And they left. And there were all manner of accusations. This is because she's doing this because she has a good job. She's doing this because she's from this community. You know, we are known for.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, so we are tagged. So we told him she should not marry from that community. Atatoroka na watoto. But that was far from it. But I decided, the minute I decided to walk out, I decided to close my ears and my eyes and focus. And do it, even if it meant doing it alone, Lynn, I was going to do it alone. And I did it. I just walked into the office one day and I went to Google. Google is my friend. And I just typed divorce lawyers. 2 lawyers came up. Yeah. I sent an email. One responded. The other one didn't respond. The one who responded gave me an appointment the next day. I was there by 7.
Yeah, you are timekeeper.
Hey, I was there by 7. Ish. I went there and I broke down and I cried. He's seeing this young girl. Like, can you imagine a 27-year-old, 28 has walked into your office? Like, it was not normal. And he first of all had to play counselor. And he talked to me and he told me it's going to be well. Don't worry, I'll help you. What do you want? So I told him, I don't want anything. I just want to be off. I just want to be free. I just don't want to be with this person anymore. It's drained me enough. I can't go on. So we started. And he made sure that I was well covered. I didn't attend any court session. I think it was one. And it was done in the magistrate's office. It was a private court. And the other party didn't show up. And I remember the magistrate, he was a Muslim. And he tried to tell my lawyer, why don't you talk to your client? These things, they are sorted out. I mean, out there, whatever. My lawyer told him, by the time she has made up her mind to get here, all those other options were exhausted. So for her to come here, she knows what she wants. And the magistrate gave it. But you see, even the magistrate himself was trying to
mediate.
Yeah.
Quote unquote.
Yeah. So my lawyer was like, no, by the time my client has gotten to this level, she knows what she wanted. So this is what we are here for. And the other party was not there. And I was granted. And from then on, I felt a relief. I could now be able to move on with life. And you think it's over. It took a very short time. It took 6 months. Yeah. 6 months. And I think it's because this lawyer, I went and told him, if I'm hit by a car on the street today and something happens to me or to my son, I don't want to go back there. You know the way you're like, you're done and done and done. And I told him, I don't want. Please make sure that never happens.
Yes.
So he expedited it, and I thank God. He was very supportive. He was acting as my counselor. He used to call me to his office and he would talk to me, and he encouraged me. He's like, Esther, you're going to call me for your wedding. You're still young. You're still beautiful. You will get somebody who will love you. And, he was really, putting that hope in me. So I went life started. And of course there was the pull and tug about the custody and all those other things. But thankfully, I was always the present parent. The other parent was out of town, and somehow I got the full custody. So I thank God. So now I was able to start focusing. It didn't happen immediately, but now I'd overcome that. So now I was able to focus on my son, and now him going to school, and now tried this co-parenting thing. That's another story. But what I say is, I was very intentional to co-parent, but you can't force somebody
to co-parent.
You can't. So, and you also have to protect your child, because why did you walk out first of all? First of all, it was also to protect the same child. So you can't put them in the same environment that you got them out of. That's your priority.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's how it was, and it took a few years for my friends to come back.
They came back.
Yeah, they came back.
Hey friends, hey friends.
They came back, and yeah, they like, I remember we're having conversations later, and some of them actually apologized, because now like life moves, so you get into marriage and then you realize these things. So they come and ask, how did you do it? And I'm like, I didn't do it. I think it's something that snapped in me, because I'm a very quiet person by nature. I'm not somebody who think they would get aggressive.
Yes.
So even this person was very shocked that I would go forward and go to court, that I would not look for other ways out of this situation. So they were always saying, oh, it's your friends who are influencing you, you're in bad company. But it was a decision I made from my heart.
Yes.
It was a decision I made on my own. Nobody influenced me. And I made it knowing a lot of backlash will come. But one thing I did is I called his parents, especially the dad, because he was in Nairobi that time. And I sat him down and I walked him through, and I told him, I can't do this. I'm done. With all due respect, this is your family. Your child is still your child. And one thing that man said was, hey, kama hujapata heart attack ama high blood pressure at this point, I think you're strong, you're good. And that, that draws you back. You're like, yeah, it's an affirmation, but still, how strong do you need to be?
Yes.
Yeah, but that was what I needed from him, because for me, you only owe your parents. The rest of the society, they will.
They'll figure it out by themselves.
Because even when we were starting, they figured it out. So what they'll figure it out. Yeah.
Hi.
So now the journey started as a single parent. Co-parenting fails here and there. But yeah, we moved on. Yeah.
So it's the part for friends coming back that I still have a problem with.
Yeah.
But then when
they come back because they realize it's not what, they spoke words and they judged you. They were not in that place yet. Me, I understood, like, okay, of course you don't pick them at the same level like you were with before. They can't come back at the same level, but you understand, and you're like, this person didn't know what they were talking about. They're still in that infatuation stage. I mean, I'd walked through it like, and unfortunately, I was the earlier one who walked.
Pioneer.
I was a pioneer. Yeah, so they would come and would sit down, and I would tell them, I don't judge. I don't judge, because the shoes you walk in, nobody else can walk in those shoes. You're the only one who knows where the shoe pinches.
Yeah.
So if you feel you can't walk in it anymore, nobody should tell you to keep walking in it. Yeah. Nobody should keep telling you. Yeah.
Yes. And life now starts to peak.
Life starts to peak. I start now. Now you realize everything is okay. As much as it was on you, there was this thing, but now it's like outright niwewe na niwewe. So you have to sort out your child's school. You have to work. You have to make sure you're all the functions for school. Yeah, you have to be all that in your house, in your home. At home, I'm the firstborn.
Yeah.
So your parents also have some expectations, like, okay, now they're watching you, Now you've walked out. Alafu. And you know, a parent's joy is when your child
when
is
their child is settled. Oh, especially African context.
Yeah. But they didn't give me pressure. They didn't give me pressure, and they really supported me.
Good.
Because I remember, like, there was a time my work involved a lot of traveling, and my dad would come and pick my son. Like, if it's during the holiday, he would pick him and, you know, just go home. Or if it's during the holiday, if it's during school time, they would come and, you know, just make sure everything is okay. They supported me.
Yeah.
They supported me.
Okay.
I have a few friends who remained faithful to the journey.
Yeah.
So they also supported me.
Yeah.
And I'm really grateful.
Beautiful.
Yeah. At around 16, that's when I met my current husband. Ilianza kitambo.
I was waiting for that part. I was waiting for the part you tell us. Your current husband was actually your childhood sweetheart, but we have patience in this show. We are patient. Hakuwa na lines za kutosha. Hakurusha back then. Hakurusha mistari za kutosha. You see there, anangoja jibu.
He's waiting to hear my version. He has his own version. Anyway, so I was informed too. And okay, from his version, you know, my parents are business people.
Yes.
So during the holidays, I used to work at their chemist. They always used to made me laugh. It's okay. It's tears of joy. Yeah. So I used to work at my parents' business every holiday. So I was trained early in business. So from high school, actually, I used to go and work at. Tukifunga shule, I know I'm at the chemist. Yes. Actually, he calls me the doctor of the family.
Okay.
Because of that experience of working at the pharmacy.
Yes.
So apparently he would come to the pharmacy. You know, it's in the village, town. So there are many people. So he would watch me, and then now when I'm done, he would follow me home. So he was a stalker. But anyway, so he knew where we lived because he followed me home. Yes. And I think our family, being a village, people wanajua kwa wengine, so it wasn't so hard.
Yeah.
But it was very hard to get me because either I was at home or I was at my parents' shop. Like, I hardly ever, my parents were those parents, like, get kifungo imeshafungwa. Yes. So I don't remember how he managed to come home, but he came home. One of the days I was home, and we met and we talked. I was like, okay.
And you talked?
We talked.
Okay.
We talked. That time he had just joined Nazarene.
Yes.
He was in Nazarene. So I'm like, oh, campus boys. You are still in high school.
Bad news.
I was like, what? Okay. So tukaongea. It wasn't many times, by the way. It wasn't at a constant. Because you see, Nazarene has this American system. So when they're home as guys. Yeah. School. So school. But there was one thing that happened that was very important in the village then. Exchange of photos. Hiyo ndio ilikuwa culmination ya relationship.
Yes.
Kuna yule photographer used to go around.
Yeah.
So akipiga picha, napiga picha. So when you exchange, that's a deal. Stamp. Imeisha hiyo. So we had photos.
Okay.
So we are done.
Yeah.
So he goes to campus. May I go back to school? Then we didn't see each other for a while. Then I think we saw each other one other holiday. Hiyo tu kuja kukusalimia nini. But there was no like much conversation.
Yes.
But there was already an agreement because tushachukua picha. Tunajua this is, we are in this together.
Yes. Your version still.
Yes.
Okay.
Then for some reason, by the time I was in Form 3, we didn't get to see each other again. I think because of the holidays and all those things. So me, I'm thinking, campus boy.
He's gone.
Alishapata mtu.
Yes.
It's okay. Me, I'm still in high school. It's not really that of a big deal. Tutaendelea tu na life hivyo hivyo. Yeah. Then him on the other side, his version was he came and he could never see. He didn't see us. Then unfortunately, it was after the post-election violence. So some families had moved from that area. Yes. So his version, he says he was told we moved with the families that moved. And that time there was no mobile phones.
Just photos.
That is all we could hold to. So that is how it died.
Yes.
Yeah.
Until now.
Until 20 years later.
Hey. Esther. People who are called Esther make me happy. Yani God anatembeanga tu.
God anatembea na wewe mpaka unakuwa example.
Yes.
You're an example to others. So, when now is this? Now around 2016.
Yes.
No, around 2013, we met somewhere in Nairobi. I think that time I was working in Kisumu. We just bumped into each other at a pizza place. Like, hi, Aish, okay. It's you, yeah. What's up? Nothing much, really.
Even your heart.
Imagine, after all these years, you know people have moved on, it's after so many, you don't know what this person is. And then it's a pizza boy, it's a pizza joint. It's not like we had planned to meet. So, ni ile tu me bump into each other.
Mambo, how's life?
Yeah, give me your number, we'll talk, what are you doing?
Keep
Evo
it
too,
moving.
yeah, that's it. So, we exchanged numbers. And then we left it at that. So, me go back to Kisumu, he went back to his biasharas. Then later on, I'm like, this person, I need to find out how they are doing. It's been, kuna mahali hapo kuna gaps.
Yes.
You can't explain. It's been years. 96 to 2016.
Yes, 20.
Yeah, 20 years. So I tried to look for his number. Lynn, there is no number on my phone.
You did not save it?
I don't know what happened. Then I remember we were with my brother. I'm like, did you get Patrick's number? He's like, yeah, I have it. That time my brother used to work. Oh, he was in China.
Yes.
I was a hustler this time. By this time, nilikuwa nimejua kujinini. So we had opened a business in China with my brother. So he was running it. So he was in China. So I asked him, did you get Patrick's number? He's like, yeah, I got it. Let me look for it. The devil ni nani? There was no number.
Oh.
Yeah, there was no number. And I asked him, so why didn't you call? He apparently also didn't have the number. So Lynn, it beats me how 3 people saved a number and none of you has it. So nowadays we conclude it was not yet time.
Yes.
It was not yet time.
That part is important.
Yes.
When you meet someone,
Yeah.
you can meet the right person
Yes.
at the
wrong time. Yeah. So we say it was not yet time. God was just giving kuna reminder. Kuna mtu mahali.
Yes.
But yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't the right time. So fast forward 2016, I'm just seated in the office. This time you've prayed this prayer of, Lord, now what is this life? I believe in family and I believe in love, and I was serving in church. And I told God, I'm tired of people taking you like a joke. Our society is very, can I say, patriarchal? Yes. That's the word to use. Because I kept being told by my colleagues, and people would tell you have a male child. Utaolewa na nani sasa as a, unless ukubali usongewe na mtu kwa nyumba yake, ukue number 2. Then that's not how God works.
Not my portion.
No. That's not how God works. My faith does not allow me to do that. Yes. I'm not going to settle for that. No, there are these young boys who are coming to be employed, nini. I'm like, no, you don't just get somebody because they are breathing or because they are male. There's that person that you're looking for. I believed God has that person in mind for you. They have them somewhere for you. You just have to keep the faith and keep focused. Don't be, in a rush. Don't be in a rush.
And don't be rushed.
And don't be rushed. And don't take shortcuts. Because shortcuts you'll take, but you'll still not get there.
Yeah.
So fast forward 2016, so the way that Facebook brings people you may know.
Yes.
So he was brought there. I don't know how, because we were never friends. We had never talked on phone.
Yes. Maybe he had been, or maybe he was always on your profile.
He didn't know my name on Facebook.
Let me tell you something. Ask him that part. Ask him that part.
I don't know.
Patrick said that. You see, I'm telling you, go now today and algorithm, they work that way.
Really?
Yes. If someone is constantly stalking you,
yes,
they'll be suggested to you.
Okay. So I found it. So
People
I'm like, nika click hapo. Nikamtumia message. He was online. Hey.
You see?
That's the conversation we have not stopped up to date.
Online.
No. Like that's where this conversation began, and now we are here today. So I asked him, hey, hi, how are you doing? He's like, oh, hi, I was looking for your number. I'm like, you lost my number. So me, I was like, you have my number. You didn't call me. So women,
Yes.
give me your number. I'm like, but I gave you my number, you've never called me all these years. Unajua ile magrudge. So me, I'm like, he had my number, he didn't call me. Okay, me, I was genuine, I didn't have his number, I'd lost it. So he's like, no, I lost your number. Like, hata nikikupea number utapiga. So I refused to give him my number, I think for a day or two. We just chatted. And then by I think the second day, at the end of the day, because I was like, sasa hii chat imezidi sana. No, so I shared my number. The call came immediately.
Esther, you see? Mans was ready. I can only imagine how his heart was feeling, darling.
He can say that one. But he immediately, like, the way you
finish typing and then...
Yes, then the phone starts ringing.
Yes.
Boss.
So you pick.
So I picked and we talked and there was so much. It was not even like looking for a relationship at this point. It was like catching up with an old friend. And then we like, there was so much to catch up on. So much to catch up on. What's happening? What are you doing? This is like a lot. So it was basically friendship at this point. Yeah, so we continued talking, and I think maybe a few months later, so this person is looking like they are very, very serious. Very serious. Ile, tuende kwa mama yako now, this is it. Like, this speed ikanishtua Lynn. Because, you've been praying, but Mungu anajibungi hivi kweli. So one day I called my mom. So I tell her, then she's like, now you have been praying, you have been fasting. Then God answers you and you're here questioning. You
start doubting.
Why are you doubting? So you just go with the flow. If it's not it, you will know. But if it's it, you will know. And parents have a thing of knowing.
Yes.
So we went home. Like immediately, like we got home. My mom was done. Like, hii chapter tumefunga sasa. We are done.
Chukua msichana.
That's it. So I was like, where? This same mother is the one who cautioned me the other time.
And this time, she's not asking you anything.
Learn to trust your parents' instinct.
And let me tell you something. That's a conversation I've been having with people who are close to me.
Yeah.
There's something your parent will say.
Will see.
But again, it's the case of right thing,
yes.
wrong time.
Time, yes.
But parents.
Yeah. I'm telling you, they can see far. They can see things that you can't see. Especially at a young age, it's good to listen to your parents. Kids nowadays, they'll tell us, we have teenagers. They'll tell you, you'll talk to them, but they'll not listen. But later on, you come and sit down and you realize, whatever I was being told,
yes,
I wish I listened. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, I wish I listened. But anyway, my mother told me, you're my daughter. I can't tell you, nilikuambia,
yes.
From my previous mess.
Experience.
Nowadays, we talk and we laugh about it. She's like, no, it's just you because you're my daughter. Otherwise, I would have told you. Si nilikuambia.
Ukweli.
Yeah, I told you, but you thought you knew better.
Yeah.
But it's best when you walk the journey, then you realize, this is a mistake I made, but it's painful. So now you're able to walk a better journey.
Yeah.
So what I appreciate right now is being loved genuinely. Being loved and not being judged by my past. Being loved by somebody who we grew up with no platform at all to compare. No, it was not monetary. It was based on friendship. It was based like we were family, like our parents were friends. My late dad and his late dad were friends.
Yeah.
But they didn't live to see us now. But when they were younger, they would visit each other, and those are values that, like right now, we really appreciate. Because those are the things that we didn't look at in our previous life.
Yeah.
We didn't think they were important.
Yeah.
You just pick this person and you think, tuko sawa. But values, love, yeah. Values are very important. How you brought up is very important. You need to, if you get somebody who can relate, your family values, how you're brought up, how you get to agree on so many levels, so you reduce the number of conflicts. It's very important to get to a certain point. Like msianze na conflict. Just start where it's an agreeable space. And if you realize this is going to be a tug of war or a point of contention, it will be.
Whether you like it or not.
It will be. I knew there were some things that my mother had pointed out, even my dad. hii utawezana, hii utawezana, like specific issues to do with religion, to do with culture, to do with values.
But we ni nani? During those days.
Education equalizes us. Yes. Education doesn't equalize culture. It doesn't equalize religion.
Now, you've told us you had your past.
Yes.
When he's chatting you on Facebook, he had been single all his life. Or it's his story to tell?
He will tell his story. He will tell his story. But he had been in search of me, so maybe the algorithm was right.
You see?
Yeah, he told me he was looking. He was trying to find out where I went. Like he's, you know, there's that one, I think there's that one person in your life you're like, I'm not really sure where they went, and I think they would have been a good match perhaps, or they were a good friend.
Yes.
We had a lot in common. Yeah, I think that.
Okay, but did he have any children though?
Yeah, he had two
Okay,
children.
2 kids.
He had
Okay.
2 kids from his previous marriage, 2 girls, and I had a son.
Yeah.
And now we have a boy.
Well,
And you know those prayers you pray when you're a child? Me, I told God I want 2 boys and 2 girls. Nilikuwa mtoto. I didn't know what that meant. Till now God has given me
a boy
2 boys
and 2 girls. Prayer answered.
Prayer answered.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the friendship part.
Yeah.
Because it seems, even when you talk about him, you blossom. you see now we are already blushing. They say, and you see a woman laughing and then she does her sweater like this. It's not the sweater with an issue.
Oh my God.
And I feel I could blush, but we are already here. Okay. So what was it about him?
I think it was the intentional, a word like intentionalness or something.
Yes. The intentionality.
The intentionality, yes, that's the word. In him to get into sio ya kujaribu, like he knew this is the person I was looking for, and once I get them, this is where we're not trying. Like you see, there's already a gap of 20 years. He has his past, I have my past, but this person knows if I get this person, it will work. I don't know how that works. Maybe men know better, but he knows, like if I get this person, my life we can work out something. So that intentionality of him to make it work, and he didn't hide it, and he made it very known. Like he didn't hide, you know, like ndio huyu tumeenda kwa madhe, ndio huyu tumeenda, you know, there's some your people in a relationship, so you take me, there's a family function, where enda, I might drop you outside there, then I'll come and pick you later.
Mlikuwa mnabebana kaa kibeti.
Kwanza that time I used to work in Mombasa. So like my mom used to take advantage now. Like, you know, my daughter doesn't even come to see me so many times. So I'm like, Mom, by the time I take a flight to Nairobi or I drive, it's so far. Guess who will drive me?
Him.
How will they not be best friends with Mom?
Oh, yeah. True.
So Mom got to see me more.
Yes.
And then she also got to see our friendship, because we became friends because of now talking a lot and now knowing where we've come from, what we've gone through, and what we want. He knows what he wants and what I want.
Yes.
So it's now working towards that. But it has to be based on a friendship. We talk a lot, we discuss a lot, we share a lot. Like sometimes, like I think yesterday we slept at, was it 12?
Yeah.
You like umeongea sitting room, then you go back to the bedroom and you're still talking. And like unajua kesho naenda meeting na Lynn.
Sasa unasema mimi nilikuwa blankets and wine as I'm sitting here. And BN took forever to come on. So I was just like, so I was telling my partner, and tomorrow we have to be. So you see, we are together.
Yes. So I'm like, hey, tomorrow na tutapiga tu story. So those are some of the small things.
Yes.
And then the fact that he stood with me in like when I lost my job, because I lost my job after we met maybe about 2-3 years. Immediately I had our son, I think at 4 months. That's when I lost my job, and it was like this. From like you've not planned. Now wacha wale friends walikuacha. Now even colleagues, they your phone, even he used to laugh at me. Your phone no longer rings. Before Lynn, my phone was off the hook. Wow. It used to ring. Now there's silence.
See these lessons we are learning. Kagueni phone book.
Hey, I'm telling you.
Kagueni phone book.
I went to my phone book and I have deleted. So I keep cleaning up my phone.
Yes, like you should.
Yes.
Yeah.
The phone went silent. You're going through this very hard part of your life. You've just had a baby.
Yes.
You've lost your job. And then you're in this now trying to cope. There's a new baby. You have now the blended family. You're a wife. You're like, it's so much around you. And then there's nobody.
Just
nobody. Yeah.
How did the kids take it? Coming together. Now this is a blended family. How did the kids take it? And how did your previous partners, your ex-partners also take it?
Okay. For the kids, for the girls, they were a bit young by then. They were less than 10, I think, 8 and 8 maybe and 6. I don't remember very well, but about that age.
Yeah.
So there was still this curiosity, bado, yeah, we have come to this house, nini. Because that time they were still in between us and the mom's house. So they would come and then they would go back.
Yes.
And then my son was now staying with us. He was still in school, just about to finish. But with kids, it's interesting. Like, they find their own space and they learn how to cope. But then at the same time, especially for my son, having grown up as an only child, he was very protective of his space.
Yes.
And my son is more like me. He's a very quiet person. So you have these bubbly young girls. They have, there's this young boy in the house. They want to play. They want to do what? And my son, even like from birth, he was not a very social. Like, nah. So he used to lock himself in the room. So the girls would talk, come, let's play. Let's go what?
Yeah.
He's like, no, I don't want to play. So the first of all, they thought he was rejecting them or ignoring them. Then with time, they got to understand each other.
Yeah.
So he would make time for them. And then they would also understand, because he's a very studious person. Like, ni mtu wa kusoma, ni mtu wa vitabu.
Yeah.
So he doesn't like distractions. So when he reads, he wants to read. So they understood. So now they started giving each other space. But the blended parenting journey is not easy. That one I can't say for sure, because people expect children and even us to gel mara moja. You're not a nuclear family. These are people from different. They're also dealing with their own issues, their own emotions. The kids are torn in between. They're like, why is mommy not together with daddy? Is this a stage that we are going to stay, or are we going to move on to the next stage? So they are also weighing a lot of stuff. And then there's also outside influence. So you find, like, if they go here, they are being asked, hey, unafanyangwa hivi kwa hiyo nyumba? Are you seeing this? They are being triggered to see,
create animosity.
To create animosity. You should not let them do this. You should do this. You should, like, they are being, the adults are the enemy of the blended family.
True story.
Yeah. They were the ones who poisoned the kids. They are the ones who put it in them ideas. But I thank God, like, since like we have them under the same roof, all of them. Now the kids now are able to siphon and to decipher what is right, what is wrong. This is what I was told, but I don't find it, or this is,
Yes.
So now they are able to live that life.
And they are more aware.
And they are more aware. And they are like, ay, niliambiwa ananichunanga.
Yes.
Hanichuni. She's supposed to hit me. She's supposed to nyima me. I don't know, stuff like that. So they are able now to see the real you, as without now the external forces. Yeah.
Do you think the fact that now you are a bit older and he was older made it easier for you in this relationship? Because you mentioned they should teach us marriage in high school or colleges, but now life also is a great teacher. So do you think you coming together at an earlier at a later stage really helped your marriage?
Yeah, it really helped, because at this point, like, your choices. You know the bad choices you made, you know the good choices. You know what you need to do for this relationship to work. You know how you need to treat these children, because your children have been through it. You know how you need to treat this spouse, because this spouse has been through trauma of their own. You get? So there is that part of where you need to be there. You're like a counselor, you're like a mother, you're like a friend. You have to play so many roles. And for me, I think I was maybe fortunate in a way, because my marriage had ended way earlier than his. So I'd been like me, I'd seen it all.
Yes.
So I can be patient.
You knew how to create space.
Yeah, so I can create space, and if I feel overwhelmed, I just move out without having to be so pushy on other people. Yeah,
That's good.
It helped. It helped, and then also being a parent at I got my son when I was not the son we shared together when I was 39.
Kwani Esther, you know is when you look 39. Then you're saying you got a son when you were 39. What are you doing to us? Are you is this the point we ask now? How old are you?
No, don't ask.
Tupe secret. Ama ni kupendwa tena.
Kupendwa tena.
Nyinyi ni wale mlisaidiwa na
Ni wale
Mungu.
tulisaidiwa na Mungu. We. Yeah. So and I remember this was a prayer point, like because like after the first marriage ended, what I didn't say is that I'd struggled with infertility in that marriage. Yes. So I'd gone for those infertility treatments, the injections, the people who have gone through, they know it is a very expensive process and it's very draining financially. And
Sorry.
I was doing it personally because the cover couldn't take that. My employer couldn't cover that. Yeah. But now here you're trying, and then this marriage is crumbling. And then what does the doctor tell you at the end of it all? Even as your marriage is crumbling, you cannot have another baby. You have secondary infertility, I'm sorry, unless you do IVF or there is no other way. So you come out of this situation with 2 bad reports. So I knew. So when we started getting serious with him, and I told him, this is the situation. This is what the doctor said. Don't expect much. He's like, I'm not in this for children. I had my own, you have this one, so it's God.
Yes.
But I kept telling God, because it was always my wish to have another child. Like, please bless me with a baby before I'm 40. I don't know how. And Lynn, I'm telling you, in 2017, he lost an election. He was running an election. We've lost so many things, like in this life. He lost the election, then I lost my job the following year. But that's the year I got pregnant, 2017.
Sasa tushahesabu miaka.
Sharia.
Mwalimu wa math.
Hapo ndio anapewa certificate. Yeah. So in 2018, no, 2017, so it's going towards the end of the year, and I'm realizing, hey, those things of ours, they are not showing up.
Yes.
How now?
Yes.
And for me, I'm one of those regular people. Month 1, month 2, it's going to month 3. Kwani ni nini nilimeza? Because you know those things you don't, ama ni kukula vizuri.
Yes, yes, hormones
zina change, yes. Nini. So I go to a clinic in town, you know, the way lunchtime too, you go to town, you look for a lab, you check. So the doctor says, I think it was about 9 weeks. What? Then I remember all the prayers, all the fasting, I remember there was a special prayer done for me in church in 2017, a deliverance prayer, and it was very powerful. So now my mind is going back. Actually, what made me go for the test was because I was going home in an Uber the previous day, and I felt like spitting. I don't spit. I'm like, hii tabia ni gani? So that's when I went the following day. I didn't even tell him I'm going, because you don't want to disappoint. Yeah, but it turned out positive, and I called my gyna. The same gyna, like the one who had declared me infertile. I told him, I'm coming. Like, what do you mean you're coming? He's like, okay, you come. Are you sure?
Yes.
I'm like, yes. So I went to his office. The doctor is like, before we talk, I'm the one who wrote your report. Yeah. A whole file. You know, I've referred you to doctors, nini, we've done all these things. Tufanye scan kwanza ndio tujue tunaongelea nini. He couldn't believe. He did a scan and he saw the baby. And like, this is nothing short of God's doing. So that's when I knew I'm done. This is God's way of saying, you're in the right place at the right time. Yeah. Because, I mean, those are many years.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I love that you've mentioned also the trials and tribulations. He lost an election.
Yeah.
You lost a job.
Yeah.
How have you dealt? What other challenges have you experienced in your marriage? And how have you dealt with them right now? Or how are you dealing with them?
I think that was a year of loss, because now we are in this family and we are looking at it, and we are trying to bring our businesses together. So that time we were still very big on China, on importing, and we we decided to go big, and we're like, this time let's go do a full container. We used to do full container, but now we used to send other people. So this time we're like, to cut costs, because we don't have the money. He goes to China, does the production, then come back. So he goes to China just before he delivered, does the production, gets everything packed. He comes back to Kenya. From the port, that container got lost for a whole month. That's demurrage charges. A whole month, they're still trying to locate iko wapi. So by the time they found it a month later, it was so much demurrage. Higher. That's on top of it. Then on top of it, now the taxes, it was now the time for now taxes had started being another issue. Yes. We didn't have a problem with the taxes. We had a problem with how they were evaluating them, because they were saying whatever was in the container was not what was packed. So they kept opening it. They couldn't believe, like, we used to bring paper cups. You know, this is a Java. Yes. So they thought it was
easy as a glass.
So they had to keep checking and checking and checking. They couldn't believe, why did you do that? And you know, there's a difference of buying things on Alibaba and going to China to the factory. There's a lot of difference. You can't give me a price of factory and ile unapata online, because I've gone there, I've negotiated my price. These things are branded the way I want. Like, it's an extra cost, but it because of the quantity, the price is down. Anyway, so we tukangangana. We tried to negotiate. We asked for, what are they called? The way they give you like yeah, that one. So we got some. I used some of my old friends there. They helped me, so we were able to get out the container. So we get it out, and then we don't have a price. By this time, we are badly off. Like, financially, we are ticking like EV. We don't have money. So we asked a friend of ours to keep for us the boxes in their place. They kept for us for a time. Then it COVID, so we couldn't sell. So this person says, I'm closing down my shop. I don't have a space for your cartons anymore. So like, what do we do? So he got a cousin of his who had built a house. They had an older house that was empty. So like, could you put for us those boxes? So they're like, fine, you just get transport, bring them. It was in, what's that place called? I don't remember, but it was somewhere that floods. Past Utawala, I think. So they put for us there, they kept for us. We packed all the boxes, we kept them there. So some we went with them home. I was selling kidogo online, but hotels were closed because this is takeaway market. So I used to target downtown people. So I never even had a shop like for all those years. I just used to bring, send to downtown, sell, and that was it. Guess what? Floods. Did you see the ones where people were being rescued in Utawala by using helicopters? That flood carried away that whole container. That house was submerged in water. They are paper cups. What do you expect?
Done.
6 million gone down the drain. Some of it was loan, some of it was our personal savings, some of it was yeah. And here we have a family. The elder son was just finishing high school. Yeah, and he was about to go to campus. We have a new baby. I've lost my job. He's lost an election. It was crazy. It was bad. That's when I really appreciate, like, you know, there was no blame games, you know, but we learned our lessons in that line of business. But there was no blame game. We just supported each other.
Wow,
and
beautiful.
Yeah, and just walked through that loss. And and we had to tell our son to stay home for a year. The one who is now in Canada. We told him to stay home for a year because we had to figure out somehow how he would go to school. Because now we're here in this situation of loss. We are hardly able to do anything. So we tried to fundraise some money on what's that page called?
Mchanga.
There was a Mchanga and there's another one, the one that people abroad usually.
GoFund. Yes.
Yeah. So we raised some money, but it wasn't enough at that point. So he had been handpicked by the university. Like they came here and they picked him because he was, during Corona, they didn't get to do their final exam. So they used their mock exams to scout for him. He was, I think, number 4 in Africa, like that year.
Wow.
Yeah. So they scouted him and they told us, please don't let him go to any other college or anything else. If you want him to take a gap year, let him just stay home. So that was a relief for us. Yes. Didn't you think a year is short? Like in a Peter. So like at least you have a year to figure out how this boy will go to school. Yes. He has a scholarship.
Oh, they gave him a full scholarship?
No, it wasn't full.
Partial.
It was a partial scholarship.
Yeah.
But you see, this boy has dreamt of going to Canada since he was in year 5. Like he was working towards that dream. Then here all these things are coming crashing down. And even that last year for him to go to school, it was just by God's grace. It was just by God's grace. Kwanza when COVID came, we were like, Fuchs. He gets to stay home. You don't have to now to struggle to get him to school every day and pay the fees that term. It was like, for us, it was a relief. But we managed to get some, the way, like now you find some money here, there. So he stayed home for a year.
Yeah.
And then he went to school. So the first year, it was not that bad because we paid the difference. And he was staying in school, so there was no accommodation, and he had a job, so it was okay. The second year, that's when now things were really bad. So now we've lost all these things. There's nothing that is happening. I have a court case. Lawyers need money, and there's no end to it. So we're like, do we revive our business, or what do we do? So we're like, let's go to the US, and maybe something will open up, or we get our business partners to, there's something we're looking for our business and RV.
Yes.
So we were working for it on that one. So we're like, let's go see our friends. Then we see maybe something will happen. So we go to the US. This time the boy has stayed in school that year. So boy year 1. So we go to the US in January 2022, and at the end there of January, and we stay. We try to look around. What can somebody do? Who do we meet? What help do we get? Unfortunately, a month later I fell sick. And this is not sick like you're planning to get sick.
Yes.
I'd been misdiagnosed before I left here. The cause of that stress, all that pressure, all that whatever. So apparently there was a TB. I don't know what going on around. So I'd picked it up, but I didn't know. So when I went to hospital here, I was treated for malaria and typhoid, stuff like that. So kumbe it just suppressed it. So when I saw I'm okay, and this ticket was not even our ticket, Lynn. We were given by a friend.
Guy.
There are friends out there.
Yes.
So we are like, okay, let's go now. I'm feeling better. Let's go. And my husband will not leave me to travel alone. We go together. So we went. So we stayed there. We are scouting. We are doing what? February. I'm just seated at my friend's house, and I was just feeling weak, nothing, no pain. Okay, I'd gone to the ER. They treat you for stomachache. They go back, treat you for an infection, go back, but still nothing serious. So this time I came home, and my friend, from what she tells me, because I don't remember, I started shutting down. Like, they're talking to me, but I'm not, they can't hear, the words are not coming out. I'm sleepy, I'm drooling, now the saliva started coming out. I look like somebody who is having a stroke. She calls 911. He had walked out of the house, so he wasn't even there. And she had a small baby. So the ambulance comes. America is very haraka. So they come, they assess my situation. They're like, this one, she needs to get to the hospital before 8 minutes are over. So they put me on oxygen. They carried me. I remember being carried out, but I don't remember anything else.
You passed out?
I passed out. I was on oxygen. So the ambulance took me to the nearest hospital. Luckily, I think it was about 4 or 5 minutes away. So immediately I was taken to ICU. And I stayed in ICU for 10 days, and no doctor was talking to anybody. He's there. We've gone to the US. It's been a month. Now, he's telling people here, Esther is in hospital, and he has no information.
Yeah.
I can't talk. The doctors are not saying anything. So what is it? It was crazy. It was so stressful. Me, I don't know what's happening. Me, Yeah, so the kids are stressed. The parents are stressed. Everybody's wondering now what's happening. So, and him, of course, those questions, and Julius, why did we come in? But after 10 days, now they had done tests, and they had done a diagnosis. It was TB, and now they started very rigorous treatment. It was rigorous, way. And they do tests, and nobody asked me for money, Lynn. All this time I didn't even have
an
insurance. See, tulikuwa tunaenda tu mara ngapi tumetravel. Like us guys have traveled many times, so you're like, what will happen this time? You know, the way you get used. We didn't have. They treated me, Lynn. They did tests, they did lab tests, they did scans, they did what? I think I stayed in hospital for 2 weeks. No, 21 days actually, I think 3 weeks. And then I was let go home. And then now, by the time I was leaving the hospital, I was so small. I was like, I think I was 42 kgs. Because you see, you get sick, but you don't know you're sick. I wasn't coughing.
Yes.
There was like, I didn't have those signs that people would say, she has TB. My only worry was, I had come from home. Who else did I infect? And now our host did I. But do you know we did tests? Nobody. God just did it. And I told God, please don't let anybody get sick because of me. Somebody has hosted you, then you come and imagine. So I was so grateful that everybody took a test and nobody.
They were okay.
Yeah, and he stood with me. He walked into that ICU ward, and you know they used to make him wear those suits there, like for COVID. So he had to wear that suit and he had to wear a double mask. There's a special mask. Yeah, they're like the ones the doctors wear, and he had to wear two. I think he got to a point he was like, no, I'm not wearing them. This is my wife. Whatever happens, it will just happen. So he used to come there and sit. I'm not talking. I'm not doing anything. He's just there. I don't know what he was doing. That is his story to tell. But I can just imagine, you know, you're in a foreign land, so many kilometers away from home. Your wife is sick. She can't talk. And you don't know what's going to happen. You don't have money to pay. You don't know if you're going to be told muanze kuosha corridors. Ama mushikwe muende jela.
Yes, ama mdipotiwe.
You know. But God is God. Just God. And I always say it's good I got sick when I was in America. Because if I had been here, I probably would have died. People thinking it was COVID. Because you see, the only symptom I had at that point was high fever. The only symptom I had was high fever. So I went to America for treatment. God took me there for treatment.
A reason for everything. And then you came back.
And after that, I could not wait to come back. But the doctors were like, no, you can't go home. So I had to stay an extra 3-4 months for treatment. Because you have to go, they come see you at home. Yeah, they have to come do tests every 2 weeks. Wanakuja nyumbani, wanakupeleka. And America is so good. They call you. Do you know your appointment is on this day? Do you have a car? If you don't have a car, they send an Uber. I go to the doctor's clinic. They have like, because I was like underweight. So I used to find my doctor corner snacks, my cookies, manini. Eat these ones, Esther. These ones you have to finish. Imagine.
Yeah.
And I go home with another package. And it was from her pocket and from those. Yeah.
So mlirudi mkalipa?
No.
Ulipewa tu hivyo?
What?
Uende tu. Bill.
The bill. At discharge, they didn't ask for any money. We just signed actually I was discharged alone. My husband had to go somewhere. And my host was working. So I had to take an Uber. And they let me go.
The God of Esther.
Hey. So I'm getting to the house. Then the host came back later. The Uber guy is the one who took me home from hospital. Imagine I'm being wheeled like this. Na wheelchair. Siwezi tembea vizuri. Then the Uber guy picks me, takes me home. Now, so I kept asking, because I was like, what's this bill? What's going to happen? You know, you're worried, eh?
Yes.
So my host is like, relax. There's a way. So we wrote a letter, and we were given some relief.
Oh, beautiful.
The bill was about 8.5 Kenya shilling. Yeah, because it was about, in dollars, it was about 45,000 or something. Yeah. So they gave us a relief. I don't remember in dollars it was how much, but I remember in Kenya shillings because I did the math. Yeah, I did the math. It was about 8.5.
Yeah.
So they gave us a 50% discount, and then they removed the hospital, like the doctors, everything. Whatever was left now was the X-rays, the machines. So I asked my friend, so why can't they take this away? So they're like, these ones they usually like hired to the hospital, so they have to pay for them. So I think it was left about 4 or 3.8.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
So my host said, we'll respond to the emails, we'll see what to do. And at the end of the day, I think if it's not possible, if they're not in a position to, I think there's a way that the government is able to give a relief. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So that was one thing
like
that was
you actually
really
went there for
treatment. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Looking back, what's the greatest lesson you've learned in your journey?
Never to give up. As long as you're alive, fight. Don't just give up. Like there's always a chance. God always gives you that chance again. It doesn't matter if it's the second, the third, the fourth time. Because by this time when we were coming back home, we didn't have anything. Remember, we've lost so many things. Yes. We are coming back jobless, without money. And here are kids. But we came and we decided to restart our business again.
Wow.
Yeah, this business that we opened in 2016 when we met. So it had been at the balcony since COVID. So we picked up our stuff and we were like, we are restarting this business now. So we came back around September. So now ni kuanza sasa, starting afresh. So in January I decided to take a course it's like a rebuilding, but it was like to know what I want. Like I really wanted to know what I want, because now the doctor said now you can work, now you're okay. So I took this course because I was conflicted. I have so much experience in my previous work, and there's this family business that I need to run, and I don't want to go back to work and then have to retire again. Yes. And me, I love working with my husband. Like I think we are the best team. People even really wonder how we work together. Yeah. So I was like, how do I not feel the loss of my worked years, but put myself fully to this business? So I took that course in January. It's I don't know what if to say it, whatever it is.
You can say
I can say it.
Yes.
It's a course by Sarah Richardson. She does, it's called Pink Potential. So I took that course, and it was, for me, it was a moment of, this is where I am. This is what I'm conflicted. Where do I go from here? And after we finished the course, I spoke to Sarah, and Sarah was like, Esther, what do you want? I'm like, this is where I am at my life. This is what I'm looking at. She's like, follow your heart. But this is what you need to do. Let's work on this. So we walked like step by step, work on this profile, work on this one, do this. And I kept doing that, and then we have accountability partners. So when we finally were able to restart our business around June, July, now we even started getting work.
Wow.
I think the positive energy.
The
vibrations.
Yes.
So we started, now the company, now we even now got employees. Like before it was a briefcase.
Yes.
Now you see, now when you believe in yourself, when you know there's a chance, this is what I said, I'm not looking for, I logged out of all those job hunting places, all those networks, I logged out. I'm not looking for a job.
Beautiful.
So I'm focused now. I'm doing this. And that is how we got back. Now we have 10 employees.
Yeah. What's the company? What do you guys do?
Our company is called Tech Home East Africa Limited.
Tech Home.
Yes.
Okay.
Tech Home East Africa.
Yeah.
And we do home automation.
Oh.
So home automation is
what
where
is
we...
that?
I get asked that a lot.
You make it easier, but what is that?
Home automation. Home automation doesn't mean it's only for homes, but we also do factories and institutions.
Okay.
But home automation is where we make everything in your home smart. Like you automate it, your curtains you can open with your voice or with a remote.
Hello, open.
Yes. Yeah, that's
I just said.
Yes, and they open. Same for your lighting. You automate your lighting, and energy management, where you're able to tell how much power you're using.
Oh.
Like when you walked in, I remember he said, we need to put Pauline energy management here. So that she only uses electricity when she needs to use.
It's crazy. Yes. You're bulbs everywhere.
Kila mahali. That's where you lose your money. Yeah.
For real?
So you walk
like you can do that in Kenya?
That's what we've been doing since 2016.
Yeah?
Yes.
Yeah? Serious?
Yes.
Patrick, si uniongeleshe vizuri nikuwe na advertise hapa, like sikuna budget ya marketing. He said yes. Go on.
Yeah, so the gates, everything, like we make, you see those things people see in the movies, and they think they are not here. We do that, and the advantage of us is like we are invested in it. We've been doing since 2016, but it's been it's very heavily invested because we keep going for training. Because you see, those are things that come from out there. So go for training.
A lot of tech.
Tech. So we go for training, then we come. But what we are able to do right now is we are able to do your project from A to the Z, which many companies are not able to do without getting somebody from outside.
Yeah.
But it's because we've invested in training.
Good job. Come here, I was sitting with that company.
And the thing is, I'm not a tech person.
No way.
No.
So how did it come about? Who is tech? There you go.
Yeah.
He's tech.
Yeah, he's an engineer. He's a software engineer. But we developed this from passion.
Beautiful.
And we had seen this technology from our travels. So we decided, what do you think we can do? I saw this idea, I saw this a few ideas, and then we decided, okay, this one seems to be good. I'm like, me, I'm not a techie person, but I can do the other stuff. So he's the brains behind the whole technology.
Went to the wrong person. I should have been here.
Marketing is here. Him will do and he will fix all those pairs of viewers.
Yeah, and you mean there's a way I can tell my curtains to open and close?
You don't even have to tell them. You can just have them programmed. 6 o'clock zinafungua, then they close.
You see, Ed can have such things. So he's already 10 steps ahead.
Zinafungua zenyewe.
Naweza ambia nguo zijioshe like.
You can automate your machine, but you have to put the clothes there. But like in our house, I love our house. Like sometimes you sit down, we have teenagers and you have a small one. So sometimes they'll go to the houses, some places. So tunaambia, nani alikuwa hapa? And kids. Sio mimi. So like, okay, sit down here. So he'll sit down on his laptop and he'll be like, oh, the motion sensor, somebody came to this room for 2 minutes. Wow. Somebody came to this room at 10:45. Who was it?
That's a good one. I love that. That's nice.
Yeah, so there's technology out here. We are doing it. We are doing now from the A to the Z. We've started now even doing construction smart, like from scratch now because of the market, the demand. Because somebody comes and they're like, what's the advantage of building smart from scratch? So you save 13% of your building cost because, you save on your materials because you build smart. Like you don't have to put cables all around your house because our devices are wireless. Yes. The only device that is wired is the camera. But the motion sensor, the window sensor, the door sensors, the fire alarm, they're all wireless. Yeah.
Okay, so this is not an ad, but that's a very interesting concept.
Yeah, I like talking about it because people think it's not possible.
Me too. The people, me. See, the people is me. I'm representing the people.
Yeah, but it's possible. We are doing it.
How is it working with your husband? How is it running a family?
It's lovely. It's lovely. He does the tech. I do the marketing bit and looking for our links and and I'm also the admin person.
Wow, beautiful.
So I hire in fire.
Yeah.
It's not
the hardest part.
Yeah.
You see? That's actually, I feel like that's the hardest part for anyone.
Yeah,
the hiring.
Yeah.
The firing.
Yeah. But I get to use my business administration degree now when I'm doing the admin work and running the office, running the staff, and so I'm happy.
So you're happy.
I'm happy.
Full circle.
Yeah.
Look at God.
Yeah.
You love it?
I love it. I'm enjoying it. Working for yourself. Hauna holidays. But it's worth it. We are not yet where we want to be.
You will be there.
We are growing.
As long as there is movement, movement equals progress. Yeah. Like as long as there is motion. As long as there is motion.
Exactly.
As long as there is motion.
And I love the fact that Kenyans now are embracing technology. Those things like when we started in 2016, it was very hard. We only used to get business from maybe the UN, people who understand.
Yes.
But now individuals. Institutions, you have your own factory, you have your own school, hospital.
So it's like, hey Siri.
Yeah, almost like Siri.
Yes.
Yeah, but a bit advanced.
Very advanced.
It's a bit advanced, and it's not for like what we are doing. We chose our niche market. It's like, what can I say? Comparing your phone.
Yes.
And I don't want to say Oppo wrote. Oh, this is Semejina. I don't want to say the brand of the phones or the cars, but it's the high end of the phones.
It's the high.
So that's the high end of the technology.
Yes.
So it's not that it's for it's not for everybody.
Not for everyone. But
there are those ones who understand how it works and it works for them.
Okay.
And we are glad to serve that market.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's good. We need it.
You need it. We shall do it for you.
Ata see like me, like the nation.
Yes.
Now I feel like I feel like I'm good now.
You're good now.
Yes.
Yeah, and now you know like the people you host for your I don't know the people like at home, like I see your
Inspire Global.
Inspire Global.
Yeah.
And they maybe I don't know if it's Inspire Global, but people who are from outside
Yes.
the country, they have
Yes.
invested here,
Yes.
but they have no way of following up their investments.
Good.
So, but with technology now, Lynn, if you're building there, you'll be able to tell hiyo nyumba imejengwa imefika wapi. But now people are being told send millions, tumefika hapa, you send to your neighbors.
Yeah, it's done. Your neighbor's house.
Yeah, your neighbor's house, ama the house is finished and
Then
you don't know what's
come
happening.
here shock.
Yeah.
Na huwezi rudi makaratasi
Imagine you
ilikuwa ile ya
can't.
chini ya
Yeah.
maji.
So
I know it's painful.
It's very painful.
But that's nice.
Thank
I
you.
love when I see that for our people.
Thank
You
you.
know, I love that we can dream.
Yeah.
And most importantly, I love that you're doing it with your best friend.
Yes.
Yeah, it's the most fulfilling
It is
thing
very
in life.
fulfilling. That
It is the most
feeling,
fulfilling
you wake
thing
up,
in
you're
life.
like, by the way, I'll tell you, Lynn, for sure, since we started the company, we don't earn a salary.
Yes.
But we pay our employees.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good.
We don't pay ourselves yet. Hatujafika hapo.
Talk to me sana lipo.
You umelipwa.
Mimi wananilipa
I'm
mshahara,
waiting to
but-
get there.
Hey, but let me tell you,
Yeah.
I know when you say that,
Yeah,
I know
you
what it
understand.
means.
Yeah.
Me, I know what it means. It's a
Yeah.
very hard place to be in,
Yeah.
but a very fulfilling journey.
Yes.
And they always say, just give yourself a bit of time.
Time, yes.
When it peaks,
Yeah.
that's all.
Yeah.
That's all. I
thank
appreciate you.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you for coming through. But I don't want to end this conversation maybe without asking you if there's anything you feel like we've left out and you wanted to touch on, feel free.
For me as a parent, maybe what, even from the person you were speaking earlier, maybe I overheard that conversation about children and about black tax. Our son is in 3rd year. And I've had people come to us and tell us, so kuna bahati sana mtoto wako karibu amalize shule akusaidie. But do we educate our children so that we can become a burden to them? Do we? Because we start making our demands to those children. He's just 21. Next year he'll graduate at 22. So I expect him to carry me and my other children just because he's in a foreign country. It's very unfair. I think as parents and as adults, even as Africans, educate your child so that they can, you know, they can be able to sustain themselves. Unless you're in that situation where you're not totally able to maybe take care of yourself and this child is like, how can I say, mama, ama, this is a gift or whatever, but let's not burden our children with our expectations.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you for saying that.
Let's not burden our children.
Thank you. Me, I have such crazy passion for these young people.
Yeah,
Even
let's
my small sister,
Yeah.
me, I love she's working for
Yeah,
herself.
yes.
Like I
Let's
don't
encourage them.
I love that my mom will not even ask her for
Yes,
money.
exactly.
I love that she's allowed to be
to
a
be
child,
her- yes, let her
enjoy
be
her
her-
to small finances,
Yes.
go and get herself a pair of shoes
Exactly, yes.
without feeling the pressure,
The
of,
pressure
I need
of
to send
money
something
home.
back home.
Yeah,
Let us
it's enslaving.
Thank you for saying
and
that.
And it's part of what is making those children, you know,
Crazy.
because the demands are from home, and yet here I'm expected to pay my accommodation, my transport, my food.
Yeah.
You're not sending me money from home, probably.
True.
It's not right.
A very much needed conversation. When I do the parenting panel discussion, I'm gonna have to invite you,
Thank you,
in
Lynn.
it. I know we are all waiting for. I know all the conversation you guys you are waiting for. You are waiting for a parenting conversation, and you are waiting for the firstborns conversation. We will have it. Give me time. You'll see the venue. It's beautiful. I saw it the other day. It can only accommodate 198 people, but it's worth it. So I will announce first come, first served, sindio. But before I wind up, anyone who has lost faith in love, anyone who feels like they are too old to be loved again, to love again, to start a family, to have kids, to start their businesses, man, you are rebuilding 360. Like it's a whole 360, you know.
Yeah.
You are doing it. But to anyone who is watching and they might have lost faith somewhere along the line, what do you want to tell them?
For me, I want to tell them, don't give up.
Yes.
You could have lost it the first one, the second one, the third one, but as long as you're alive, there's life in you. You just need that self-drive in you, the motivation. Push yourself to achieve that dream.
Yes.
It will not be easy because it's coming from down here to up, but you have the experience. Life is an experience. It has taught you. You're not where, even if you made the mistake, you're not where you were yesterday.
Good.
So today you have better experience than when you made that mistake. So you know which road today to avoid. You may not fall in the same mistake again, but even if you do, you're still alive, Lynn. You can get another chance.
Yes.
in marriage, in business. Never give up in having children. Me, I was already declared infertile. Now I have a child. Again, it seemed easy for people to tell me, you already have a child. Why do you want another child?
Yes.
But why not? Why not? Yeah,
Why
God can
not?
give. Why not?
Even now, why not?
Why not? Yeah.
Yes.
Me, I always, like, my mom is a widow, but I tell her, if you meet somebody, why not?
Jipe raha.
Yeah.
Pendwa.
Yes.
Na upendeke.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hivyo ndio siku nataka kuanza kuchokoza mamangu sasa. Kwanza hii December.
Yeah, in fact,
hii December.
mchokoze kabisa.
Naenda
Yeah,
kumchimba.
in fact, hookups here, go for the
naona hii.
yeah,
Naona
bas.
nimtokelezea hapo.
There is no time that is.
Naona hata ni match
Make them. Why do they have to stay
Yes.
in those solitude years alone? Yeah.
Let them. Good.
Yes.
Do you regret getting married in your 20s though?
Yes, I do. And I always tell my children, please don't. Not because of the age. Okay, it's because of the age, but it's not entirely because of the age, but because I didn't know what I was doing. I was too young. I just cleared campus. What do I know? I went to schools of missionary schools. What did I know? Yeah.
Good.
Make sure you know what you like. Be sure of what you're doing. But I tell them, please, if you're doing it, do it from 28 huko. Kiendelea huko 30 even the better.
Yeah.
But if you can have your life at 20s.
Give yourself some time.
Give yourself some time to
know
grow,
life,
to make
to grow
mistakes.
and make mistakes.
Yeah.
I love that.
And grow from that.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm about to end or finish this conversation. But since hubby is there, unataka kumwambia nini? Umesema tutamuonea kwa view sasa. Umesema picha zake ni no. But he's already unataka kumwambia nini? He's acting busy.
Yeah, he's acting busy, but he's listening.
Yes, ungetaka kumwambia nini?
Well, just to tell him that I'm really grateful for the support. Like, so many opportunities came to work out.
Yeah.
He never walked out. He always saw our future together. And he's my encourager. You know me, I'm very quick to give up, by the way. I have dreams, but he's the one who makes sure that we have followed through. He always says, I'm the dreamer.
Yes.
I bring the ideas, but I've had to follow, especially if there is a difficult curve.
Yeah.
But he holds me down.
Beautiful.
He reminds me who I am. He reminds me who God is and the purpose we have.
Beautiful.
And I love him so much.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm so glad that God gave me a chance with him again.
A beautiful second chance.
Yeah.
Yes. And now, as we wind up, you've spoken about your kids, you've spoken about life, the past, the present. But now, what do you want to tell yourself, dear Esther?
Dear Esther. To bigger and better things.
Yes.
Yeah. Because this year has shown me that I can look at something, focus on it and achieve it. Like I'll tell you, like when we restarted our company again in July and we won an award in October, November. I told you we won the Technology Innovator of the Year, NABLA Awards.
Good job.
It was unbelievable for a company that has been on the balcony, and then we just restarted and we won an award. It really gave me strength.
Yeah.
Go for what you want. There's like even when I was sending you the email, I was like, let me send, I don't know what will happen. She may say yes, she may say no. So, and to so many other things I do. Like I see people saying, do I apply for a visa, do I not? Will the watakata, do I need to apply? Why don't you apply first? Don't let fear ground you. Yeah.
Do it.
Do it. Yeah. What if it's that phone call you want to make to a certain person?
Make it.
Make it. If it is that place you want to go to meet somebody or to do something, do it. What's the worst that can happen?
Do it, and do it afraid.
Yes.
But do
it.
But do it.
Yeah.
All the very best.
Thank you
It's
so
been
much.
amazing having you on the show.
Yes.
You exude very beautiful energy. You are such a beautiful vibe.
Thank you.
Came in looking like sunshine here. Came in looking like sunshine.
Wow.
But I'm so happy we've
Yeah.
had this conversation. You've inspired me. I love when I do a show and it nourishes me.
Yes.
It makes me hope. It makes me want to do better.
Yes.
It makes me want to challenge myself. Me, like you, I'm the dreamer. my partner is the executor. But me, I'm the dreamer. So, but knowing, you know, you can always dream and dream and dream again, and have people who can hold you down and see the dream come to fruition, makes me really happy. So go you. However, if our audience would want to get in touch with you, do you have an email? Do you have a phone number? What are you comfortable in? Or wakupate kwa Facebook? Waende kwa algorithm.
Okay, on Facebook, Wangoi K Watene.
Okay.
I'm an old school person, so Instagram is not very active.
Yes.
But my son opened for me an account. It's called Raised and Raising.
Yes. What?
Raised and Raising.
Raised and Raising.
Yeah.
Oh, beautiful.
He told me, I think you're raised well and now you're raising us. So
beautiful.
That's the name he gives the account.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
They can connect with you there.
Yeah. Yes. Then my email is wangoiwatene@gmail.com.
All right. I can put that on the screen.
Yeah.
Done.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming, and once again for trusting me with your story.
Thank you
More
so
grace
much.
to you.
I'm happy. I hope somebody will just, even if to one person.
Just one.
One person.
I always say just one.
Rise up.
Our job is good.
Yeah.
Our job is done.
Yeah.
Just one person.
Yeah. Just
Our job is done.
Give up.
All right. Yeah. Shall we wind up?
Yes.
What a show, guys. You're feeling good. And then impendwe na mpendeke, like there's someone for everyone. Like there's someone for you out there. There's someone out there waiting to love you the way you're supposed to be loved, waiting to walk the journey with you, waiting to experience life with you, waiting to be character developed with you, matters, business and everything. There's just someone out there for you. Do not give up on love. That for me is my take home. And as long as you have hope, as long as you are alive and you have hope, then anything is possible. I appreciate you guys for staying and just watching, for subscribing, for loving our work. It's been quite the year. Me, I just say, guy, I would not have walked this journey fast without God and you guys. I say usipikie watu chakula wakose kukula, ndio utajua. That's when you will know. But I come and I sit here and we have thoughtful conversations, sometimes emotional, sometimes business, or sometimes all types of things. But you guys, you're always there just to cheer us up and tell us, even on the comment section, we are doing an amazing job. I see it and I appreciate it and I acknowledge it. And may God meet each and every one of you. You know those desires you have in your hearts that no one knows, those dreams that you have, may He meet you at your point of need. Do not give up. Always remember to hope again. Life tumepewa tuishi. Unasikia hivyo? Tafutieni calligraph. Life tumepewa tuishi. Like stop playing. Stop playing. Live your life. Stop existing. Just live. Live your life and stop existing. And of course, would we have had an amazing platform without great partners who always come and advertise their, they advertise their services with us. And I love that we've had beautiful people. Kings Developers Limited, the official partners of today's conversation. You know what it is? Go get your home if you're in a position to. Beautiful, beautiful apartments. I love when I talk with their director and he's like, Lynn, people are asking. Just you inquiring means a lot to me. And knowing that you can always get a home somewhere makes me believe that sisi wote we have faith, our life is going to be better. And the rest of our amazing partners. It's been a beautiful journey. It's been a beautiful journey. We close this year very, very happy. Me, I'm grateful. Like, I'm so grateful. For me, I always say my second name should have just been gratitude, because that's one thing I always wake up and tell God, thank you. Thank you for this platform and the people it has enabled us to talk to. I sit with people and I'm like, oh my God, Lynn Ngugi, did you think you would even get to interview this person? And then they always look at me as if me, I'm the big deal. Oh my God, I'm sitting with Lynn Ngugi. Like, those things just make me happy. We've done good. We've built an amazing platform. I appreciate the love. I appreciate the positive criticism. I always say the only people I listen to, it's you guys, because you are the consumers of this product. You know when we are going towards the wrong direction, and you know when we are going towards the right direction. Hizo zingine ni siasa. I love when I sit on the comment. I love the people who come and tell me things in private, people who correct me with love, and I know we've not seen it yet. God is about to do great things. So go and give yourself a second chance in love. Staki kuona watu wamekaa hivi, mimi nitapendwa na nani, jiweke huko nje upendeke. Enda kwa algorithm, search for the people you gave up on. You know those sweetheart wenye wako what all dark and handsome. Ebu arudieni and ask them what's up, kunaendelea aje. Even 20 years, I know it's a long time, but check up on those people and you don't know, like there's always something out there. Let's be happy. Let's be happy, but above all, let's stay hopeful. I'm gonna see you guys tomorrow at 10 a.m. A huge thank you to my incredible team. Ina shoot hapa tuna Edgar, si ndio tunakula maisha, wengine Muga wako kuku. Muga alikula kuku yetu by the way. Muga tulipewa kuku kwa Wambogo na yeye ameenda amekula peke yake. It's like, I na scholar wako kuku, but I'm here with Edgar. I'm the only person not going for a holiday, so you won't see me in January, but there'll be people taking good care of you, and I appreciate each and every one of you, Mary and Sam, for editing this, and of course the entire team at LNN. People like Joshua, we don't get to talk about them more often, but they are the executors. They are the people who make this dream work. Val, we appreciate you. Oh my God, Lynn, Mutange, appreciate you. And of course, everyone who is making LNN work, you guys, you've been amazing. You've been amazing. Our strategy team, Kim and Liz, thank you for always coming through. Hey, Leon, hata ni shukunani mwingine, Lillian, for taking care of us. Lillian makes this place clean. She is our office manager. She takes good care of us. Nani mwingine pia watu wetu wa gate waliwakaribisha vizuri, wakauliza mnaenda wapi. They were good people. They are amazing people. Even everybody who has made LNN work, we appreciate you. So see you tomorrow at 10 a.m. My guest details are right here on the screen. My email is right there. If you have a story, share it, and let's continue impacting the world one story at a time. Nimemaliza kibarua ya siku, so thank you.